Hey friends, how you doing there? Welcome back to Babylon Talmud. Today we're studying Daf Nun Vav, Daf 56 of Masechet Nedarim, friends. Well, today, interesting that kind of snuck into the intro. It's like, okay, how you doing there? Welcome back to Babylon Talmud. Today we're studying and then it recently it's been going like, it's like that. Makes just a bunch of random noises. You guys like the random noises? Do you like the random noises, or should we get rid of it? It's kind of nice, no? It's kind of random. Well, friends, today we're talking about Nedarim, right? Nedarim alecha achaloshim b'nei adam. That depends if a person says something, what does it include, and what doesn't it include, friends? Top of the daf. Hanodim and Abayis, a fellow who says that he's not going to get benefit from a house. Mutar ba'aliyah, he can go in the attic. Divrei Meir, that's Reb Meir's opinion. So a house is minus the attic. Whereas the Chacham say no, the attic is included in the house. If he says he's not going to get benefit from the house, so he's not going to get benefit from the attic. If a fellow says that he's not going to get benefit from the attics, but he would be allowed to get benefit from the house, just not the attic. Okay. Mantana bebeis l'rabos es hatzavua bebeis l'rabos es so'aliyah. So, right, what does the pasuk say? Ki savo al eretz Canaan asher ani nosin lachem la'achuzav v'nasati nega tzaras bebeis eretz achuzaschem. Tzaras of the house. And it says bebeis. And the Brisa says bebeis l'rabos es hatzavua, that it includes even a house that has colored walls, right? Because when it comes to tzaras of the garment, so colored garments are excluded from tzaras of the garment. So maybe colored houses would be excluded from tzaras of the house. So we say no, bebeis l'rabos esat tzavua, a colored house, bebeis l'rabos esaliyah, to include the attic as well. So Rav Chisda Reb Meir. So Rav Chisda says this brisa must be Reb Meir. The rabbanon amir rabbanon aliyah b'chal habayis lo likra bebeis l'rabuye. So if it's the rabbis, as we saw in the Mishnah, a house includes memele the attic. So you wouldn't need a special pasuk of bebeis to include the attic. Memele, it's included in the house. So therefore, the fact that we need the pasuk means that it's not included, which is Reb Meir. Abaye, Omer says Abaye afilu teim rabbanon. You can even say that it is the rabbis, that even the rabbis who say that the attic is included in the house. Nonetheless, we need a special pasuk to include the attic by tzaras of the house, because afilu tem rabbanon ba'yakra needs a pasuk. The sagadati chamina may have thought to say bebeis eretz achuzaschem ksiv. It says eretz achuzaschem, the land. The mechaber ba'arish may beis bayis, right? If it's connected to the ground, so it's called a house. Aliyah halu mechaber ba'ara. But the attic is not connected to the ground; it's an upper story. And therefore, I might think that it would be excluded from tzaras of the house. Therefore, we need the base to include the attic. Man, I'll tell you, you know what? I like standing when I record Babylon Talmud, but it led to microphone issues, and I don't want to go there again, you know? Like who does wait, what? Kiman az lahada amar Ravuna bar Chia mishmei de'ula. Ravuna bar Chia set up is in the name of Ula. Who is it like? Bayis bebeisi ani mocher licha. If a fellow, right, Reuven says to Shimon, I'm going to sell to you Bayis shebebeisi, the house in the house. So I guess Reuven is selling a house. He says to Shimon, look, I could sell. Let me show you. I'm looking to sell Bayis shebebeisi mar'eu aliyah. So Reuven can show him the attic. The reason why he could show him the attic as opposed to the rest of the house, right? Meaning he says to Shimon, look, I'm going to sell you Bayis Shebebesi. Shimon comes to his house and he's showing him the attic. So the only reason why he can show him the attic is because he said Bayis Shebebesi. Right? But if he would just say to Shimon, I'm going to sell you a Bayis, not Bayis Shebebesi, but if he says I'm going to sell you a Bayis, well, then he can't just show him the attic. He's got to show him the Gan's house. So who's the one who says that Davka, because he says Bayis Shebebesi, he shows him the attic, but otherwise he wouldn't be able to show him the attic, right? He wouldn't be referring to the attic. Reb Meir. So let's say that it's Reb Meir who says that the attic is not included in the house. right? And only because, right, so since, if you would say bias, so that would be referring to the house, but because it says bias shebebesi, it's referring to the attic. So afilu tema Rabbana, no, you can even say that it is the rabbi. So my aliyah me'ula shebebatim, means you have to tell him, show him the best house. All right, fine. Okay, livra la me'ula, he has to show him the best one. What, he has a lot of houses? All right. Okay, I guess the best house or the best part of the house, whatever it is, right? So you can even say it's the rabbis that the house includes the attic. So what's bayis shebebesi? So when it says aliyah, it doesn't mean the attic. It means me'ula shebebatim. It means bayis shebebesi means I'm going to show you the best house that I got, right? That's what it means. So meaning, first we want to say that it shows him the aliyah is the attic. So bayis shebebesi, this house of the house, is referring to the attic, but not a regular house would not be referring to the attic. But you could even say it's the rabbis who say that the house includes the attic. But when he says bayis shebebesi and he shows him the aliyah, it doesn't mean the attic. It means me'ula shebebatim, the best house. Says the Mishnah, Hanoder min amito mutar b'dargish. A fellow who makes a neder, a vow against the bed. I sleep. I use beds all the time. I know that I spend like a quarter of my life, not that much, but I spend a chunk of my life in a bed. No, sleeping. My dargish, what's a dargish? Wait, no, skip. Oh, I have to give a kor satov to Rabbi Yoel Almog. We haven't, Rabbi Yoel Almog. Yeah, he pointed out to me recently that I skipped that bit recently. I haven't gotten back to him yet. But Rabbi Yoel, I appreciate it. Thank you very, very much for pointing that out. I'm sorry. I think the last time I remember it being pointed out that I skipped that bit, I think it was Oichet Rabbi Yoel Almog, but it was a long time ago, I think. So sorry do I skip things often? I hope not. All right. Maybe that's why Babylon Talmud's been going so quick recently. I just skip half of it. Let's go weiter. So the Mishnah had said, Anodah min amite, if a fellow says that he's not going to get hanoya from a bed, mutar b'dargish, he can get benefit from a dargish. The Gemara is going to explain the Gemara is going to talk about what a dargish is. Divrei Meir, that's Rav Meir's opinion. Chachamim dargish b'chlal mita, whereas the Chacham say a dargish is included in the bed. If you're not going to get benefit from bed, you're not going to get benefit from a dargish. Hanodah min adargish mutar b'mita. A fellow who just says he's not going to get benefit from a dargish, but he could get benefit from a bed. Says the Gemara, my dargish. What is a dargish? Ula arsa de gada. Ula says it's a good luck bed. Friends, you have a good luck bed? Amrulay Rabbana Ula. The rabbi said to Ula, Ha ditnan, that which we learn in a Mishnah. Kshin mavin also kol am misubin ala aretz v'hu meisav ala dargish. A king, when the king is mourning, so everybody sits on the floor and he sits on the dargish. Kula shatu li Yosef Allah. How yom Yosef Allah? So they ask. They say, if you're going to tell me, Ula, that the dargish that the dargish is a good luck bed, I don't understand. He never sits on the good luck bed. How come all of a sudden when somebody passes away, he's going to be sitting on the good luck bed? Maskef lo Ravina. But Ravina quips back. It's like meat and wine. What's going on outside? Excuse me, 1 second. The heck is going on? Don't they know I'm recording Babylon Talmud? That when it comes to meat and wine, that all the time. If you want, you can eat meat. If you want, you can drink wine. Do whatever you want. But that day we give him basar v'yain. Elo hakasha. Right, so therefore, hiroichit, meaning, sure, he doesn't usually sit, every day he can sit on the good luck bed if he wants to or not, whatever. But today he does. Elo, hakasha. Dude, why are people making noise outside? Don't they know I'm recording Babylon Talmud? Okay. Elo, hakasha. Right, so don't ask me a kasha. That's not such a stark a kasha to say, why all of a sudden is he sitting on the good luck bed? Because. So Elo Akash, this is the Kash. The Tanya is we learn in the Brisa Dargish, Lohaya Kofeu Ela Zokfo. a dargish, he wouldn't flip it over. Right? Normally they would flip over the beds. He wouldn't flip over the dargish. He would just stand it upright. He stands it upright. And if you say it's a good luck bed, after all, we learn in a brayse, he doesn't just flip over his own bed. He flips over all the houses, all the beds in the house. So you should, if the dargish is a good luck bed, so just like he flips over all the other beds, he should actually flip over the dargish. Hello kasha. This is also not a kasha. Because you could say that a dargish is like a bed, is treated like a bed that is set aside for vessels. Titania, if it was a bed that was set aside for vessels, you don't need to flip it over. And just like you don't have to be kofe the bed that's made for vessels, you don't need to be kofe the dargish. Alright, but you could say it's a good luck bed. Eli kasha or kasha. If you want to slug up ula, if you want to say that it's not a good luck bed, ask the following question. The Tanya is winning a advice of Shimon Gamliel. Says Shimon Gamliel, dargish mate karvita vu nofel me'elav. That a dargish, you like cut its like ropes and it falls to the floor. V'dargish arsa degoda, and if it's a good luck bed, degoda karvitin mi isle, does it have these straps? So Ravin Omar Shilte Lau Mirabonon Rav Tachlifa by my Rav Shmei Davashkirch Beshuka de Tzaloi. So when Ravin came, so he said that he asked to a certain rabbi, and his name was Rav Tachlifa by my Rav Davashkirch Beshuka de Tzaloi, and he would spend time in the market of the leather people. Formerly, my dargish arsa de Tzala, and he said, you know what a dargish is? A dargish is a leather bed. Alright, what am I going to tell you? And then you would like cut the leather straps and the thing would fall to the ground. Itmar was stated, Ezu mita vezu dargish, what's a bed versus a dargish? Omer Yirmiyah mita misagen osa al gaba. It says of Yirmiyah that a bed that like, okay, ich weiß nicht. Imagine, ich weiß nicht. You have a bed, ich weiß nicht. You have a frame, and like in the frame there's like some leather kind of situation where you lie down on, and then it's attached to like the frame of the thing. How's that for an explanation? Then, so how do you attach the leather stuff to the frame bit? Well, you got to tie it. So a bed, you tie the leather to the frame on the outside of the frame, whereas a dargish, there would be like loops inside of the frame, and it wouldn't be like covering the frame, it would be like looped into the frame. Got it? Hope so. Anyways, so Itmar Ezu Mita Vezu Dargish, what's a bed versus a Dargish? Amr Birmia Mita Misaganosa al Gaba, that by a bed, you kind of, the straps are on the outside of the frame. They're like covering the frame. Dargish Misaganosa Migufo, whereas a Dargish, you kind of like wrap the straps in, like in the frame. Meisfir of Akasha, Clay 8, Meimosim Kabim Tuma. Wooden vessels, at what point do they receive Tuma? Okay. Hamita va'arisa mishe yeshifam ba'or hadog. Well, a bed and a, what's that? Is that a crib? I think so. Why not? So from the time that you like sand them, I think. V'imita mistareges al gaba. Now, if a bed you're strapping on the outside of the frame, so you don't actually see the frame because there's the straps are wrapped around the frames. So lamali shifas or adog. So why do you need to sand the frame? Nobody's going to see it anyways. Steve Jobs would not be happy with that question. Who cares if you don't see it? Ella ha veha migufon. Rather, both the mita and the dargish, the straps are like in the frame. No, Babylon. Oh man, I have not been good at turning off the camera for Babylons. Mita, fine. So. So they're both from the inside of the frame, like in the frame. Alright. When it comes to a bed, you like weave the straps like I don't know, they're like holes in the frame, and you like strap like through the holes. Whereas a dargish, there are holes in the frame and there are straps coming out of the holes, and then you strap into those like loops. Okay. Amr Yaakov Baracha says of Yaakov Baracha, we saw on Daf, I think Lamed Beis of Masechta Shabbos, they said that he's a Yari Shemaim, he's Yari Chet. Amr Rebbe Mita shenaklitea yotzin zokva v'dayo. If you have a bed, and there's like a pole sticking up from where your head is. There's a pole sticking up where your feet are, and there's another pole line on top of that. And then you like make a fort. You like put a sheet on top of it. You're like in a tent. Friends, how's my descriptions today? Probably pretty schwer, right? All right, it's one of those things, like a teepee kind of over your bed kind of thing. Well, okay, so in that case, you can just put it like upright, and that would be considered enough. Amr Yaakov bar Idi, Amr Bishop ben Levi Elacha Kavshim ben Gamliel says, Babylon, boy, I'm gonna put you guys to sleep. Sorry, Father Babylons. Amr Yaakov bar Idi, Amr Bishop ben Levi Elacha Kavshim ben Gamliel, that the Elacha Kavshim ben Gamliel, that in Dargish you cut the straps and the thing falls to the ground. Says the Mishnah, Anodim in ear mutu likonis l'tchum shalir. A fellow who makes a neder that he's not going to go to a certain city, well, he can go into the 2,000 amos surrounding the city, into the tchum. V'asu l'konis l'ibura. But you can't go to the extension of the city, right? As we learned from Masechta Eruvin, right? They would extend the city 70 and 2/3 of an amo. So aval anoder min. Right, so you're not allowed to go into the ibur. You can go into the tchum, but not the ibur. Excuse me, Babylon. All right. Somebody who says that he's not going to go into a house, so he's not allowed to go within. Let's see, how do doors work? So you have like a door, and then it like closes, and there's like the place where it closes. That's what's called the lintel, I think, and it like closes like in the lintel, and then there's like outside of the lintel, but it might still be part of the doorway, right? Because the doorway closes and it hits the lintel, but then there's the outside, the lintel, still part of the doorway. So we're saying that a fellow who says that he can't go into the house, he can't go into the house, but he can go under the lintel. All right, fine. So you can't go like inside the door, but you can go in the lintel and outside of that. How do we know that the extension of a city, the 70 and 2/3 amos outside of the city, is considered like the city? The pasuk says that it was when Joshua was in Jericho. My Biricho, what does it mean that he was in Jericho? If it means that the fellow was mamish in Jericho. But it says that Yericho was sealed shut. How could anybody get in? Rather, it must mean that he was in the 70 and 2/3 outside of the city. Maybe I'll say it's referring to right that even the tchum should be considered part of the city. It says by tchum that you'll measure outside of the city. So we want to say memele tchum is outside of the city and not part of the city. But the ibura, the 70 and 2/3 amma, would be considered part of the city. All right, where am I? So we said that somebody says he's not going to go into a house. He's only not allowed to go like inside the house. But once already he gets to the lintel, that's already considered outside of the house. But he can't. Right, meaning so he's also to go from the lintel and inside the house, but from the lintel and outside of the house, it would be okay. Right, he could stand under the lintel. Most of Mari has the kasha. So it says by tsaras of the house. So the Kohen goes to inspect the house to see if there's anything suspicious there, and then it says that he leaves the house, and then he closes it off for a week. So it says that he leaves the house. Is it possible that he'll go home, walk all the way back to his house, and then he'll like close up the house with like a rope from his house? It says the doorway of the house. Is it possible that he can even stand under the lintel? No, Mamish has to leave the entire house. He can't be under the lintel. So what does he do? So he stands outside of the lintel and then he closes it. So on the one hand, we're saying that by the tsaras he stands outside of the lintel. Yet when it comes to the neder, we're saying that he could stand under the lintel. He just can't go further in than that. And how do you know that if he did walk all the way home and then close the door with the rope, or if he stood under the lintel, then it's fine, it would still work. It says, look, he closes the house, and as long as he closes the house, that's really the main thing. It doesn't really matter where he's standing at the end of the day. So how come in our Mishnah we're saying that he can stand under the lintel, and by Tzaras we're saying he cannot stand under the lintel, he's got to stand outside of the lintel? So where am I? Mikomakum shiny gabe bayis dechsev min habayis ad sheitzi min habayis kulo. It says min habayis, he's got to leave the entire house. He can't be under the lintel. But by neder, he could go under the lintel. Friends, that was Daf Nun Vav Masechet Nedarim. I hope you enjoyed it very much. We talked about some technical things about what's considered part of the neder, what's considered not part of the neder. If you say a house, does it include the attic? If you say a bed, does it include a dargish? If you say a city, does it include the tchum? Or maybe the ibura? Or what about a house? Does it include the lintel? These were the things that we talked about on Daf Nun Vav Masechet Nedarim. I hope you enjoyed. Peace out.